This is the Troll Patrol. Live. With Justin. FREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol. Live. It's a freaking Monday. And for like the first minute or two that the countdown was playing, my ass had forgotten what was going on. I'm sitting over here hitting a bowl. I didn't even have my headphones on. I was listening to music on Spotify. Not the countdown music, which by the way is a banger. That song is a banger. What's up, Ginger? RB, Weed, Don't Mind If I Do, Dustin, resubscribed yet again, thank you. Warlord, welcome. Now, you guys. On Saturday night, you kept me up way too late. It was way past, Papaw was up way past his bedtime. And then yesterday, I needed a nap. Halfway through the day, it comes 3:30 in the afternoon. I ate a big ass burger. I took some bong rips. I got comfy on the couch and I passed the fuck out. I woke up, it was 6:56. And I'm I guess we're not doing a Troll Patrol tonight because I passed the fuck out. I was up too late with you guys. That's not true. I mean, I stay up all hours of the night. It's hard telling with me. I got a friend that's just you sleep just whenever, don't you? I'm yep, pretty much. What were you crying over last night? Because I wasn't here? I'm sorry. I'm crying because we had a lot of shit to talk about, and that one that warms the cockles of my heart, but then it also breaks my heart that I let you down. Warms my heart that you care enough about my stream that you would be upset that I'm not on. But it breaks my heart that I wasn't on. I let you down. I don't like letting people down. Oh, I'm gonna give you the news. I got all the news. What the fuck are we gonna talk about tonight? I'm sad I wasn't on last night because there is a lot of shit to talk about, and I'm on time constraints tonight. Have a little company coming. Won't be spending the evening alone tonight. And she's a casual wrestling fan, so I saved the pay-per-view. Iowa school shooting. Fucking shit. I have an Iowa tornado story. We have an Iowa school shooting? The fuck? Now I gotta look this shit up. And just breaking in the last couple of hours. Shit. Well, it looks like one person is dead, 2 are injured. In Des Moines. Fuck Warlord. God damn it. I had to. Why we gotta start off tonight with such horrid news? I always tell the kids, shoot up drugs, not schools. I think that's better advice. What is Sparkles doing this? I actually have a video we're gonna play at the end of the show where a woman is screaming, "My pussy matters," and apparently that is how she feels. That's what she said. She feels like acting like a Karen in the middle of a store. She's still recovering from surgery. She's on drugs. She has sent me a lot of messages, and she has taken no responsibility for what she has said. And she keeps reminding me that she is on drugs. That is how Sparkles is doing. Wait, this is... I noticed this when I got on Facebook just a few minutes ago. My video was blocked in 249 countries. This is because of all the music we played. I don't think anybody, like... There's like 260 something country. How many countries are there? I totally misspelled some shit. There are 195 universally recognized countries, 193 members of the UN. So how am I like there's not even 249 countries for me to be blocked in? What the hell? But you could totally see that as a Patreon exclusive. You wanted to, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do the weed. Weed! What are we talking about tonight? Put my meme back up. Michael Knowles. Okay, so last week I kept trying to find, like I felt like there was something missing from my streams. And that was like a little dose of some right-wing crazy that I usually insert at the end. And I felt like, where's my Bongino? Where's my Michael Knowles? Where's my, well, like, they were all like on vacation or something last week. The crazy has been rolling in this week. I got all kinds of stuff. Michael Knowles is going to talk to us about cuddling. I have no clue the context. Ricky Schroeder, the B actor from the 80s, threw a fit over having to wear a mask. Dan Bongino has a warning for all of us. He wants us to mark this date down in the calendar. Kick Ricky in the nuts. Dan Bongino wants us to mark this date down in the calendar and remember what he said. I have no clue what this video is about beyond that. It's probably going to be an ad for some shit. Our Rumble account is going to hit 5 million. Huh? Watch it. Like I'm gonna think he's gonna try to say, try, keyword try here. He's gonna try to say something profound and meaningful. He's just gonna like throw an ad on us. That's exactly what this video is gonna be. It's gonna be a Dan Bongino ad. I'll put money on it. Not really. I'm not really a gambling man. I don't snort that often. But sometimes things really tickle me. We're gonna watch a piece of this interview that Bill Barr gave to Lester Holt. Dustin read my mind right as I got to the Trump section of the news. Apparently, Truth Social has been a bit of a disaster. I still can't get on it. I am not one of those Apple users. I'm not in your iPhone ecosystem or whatever the fuck. I don't do that shit. I can't get on Truth Social. But I want to be on. I'm on Parler. I'm on Getter. I'm on Rumble. I'm on BitChute. If you've got someplace I can troll right wingers and put my shit up in their face, I'm on it. Go find me, Justin Freakin. I'm fucking everybody because I live in sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
I felt like I had a story on here where we're gonna talk about sexual anarchy. Maybe. We're gonna talk about gas prices. That is a huge topic on the mind of everybody. Gas prices. Oh, not on the mind of me. I don't have a fucking car. on the minds of most people, most Americans, because we've structured our fucking country around driving and not given ample public transportation, people to have the means to be able to walk or bike or fucking any of that shit anywhere. Skateboard, rollerblade. We should have nice open cities. Europeans did that shit right. I don't want to like mock the people talking about gas prices too much because I don't drive, and yes, gas prices do affect people, especially people in lower income brackets the most. But also, there's a lot of right-wingers just making a big fucking deal about it just to try to attack Joe Biden, and that like fucking of the shit that Joe Biden has done, like being able to affect gas prices is not one of the things that Joe Biden has done. We're gonna see Jen Psaki and Peter Doocy get into it during the White House press briefing earlier today. I've got Donnie Boy Trump's response to Bill Barr, not Bill Maher. Bill Maher was never the Attorney General of this country. Thank God. We've had some fucking clowns be the Attorney General of this country, but fucking I would hope that is not a post that Bill Maher would ever have occupied, though every time he has somebody on his show, he is like, my old job, because he's been using the same material since the 80s. That's my biggest gripe of it, besides the fact that he's a shit lib going halfway fucking neocon now. That's my problem with Bill Maher, is that he hasn't wrote a new joke in 25 years, possibly. I used to watch all his stand-up specials. I love stand-up. Always the same jokes, just replace the politicians who were in office or were in the national zeitgeist at the time. The same jokes he had been telling for 30 fucking years. The 1990s were, okay, like, so I wouldn't have been as radical in the 1990s just because, like, there wasn't a call for as radical a, like, we had time to deal with climate change. The 90s would have been the perfect time. When Carter was in office and he tried to start dealing with the issue, that was the perfect time. We lost out on the 80s and the 90s when we could have been fucking woke libs. What's up, Tones? The 80s and 90s when we could have been like actually doing something meaningful. I don't know, like I don't watch his show. It used to be one of the reasons why I subscribed to HBO streaming service when it first started. Like fucking Bill Maher, John Oliver, like fucking I tend to like, you know, HBO comedies. I love HBO documentaries. Like, I'm sad the Righteous Gemstones just ended, so like I ain't got shit to watch right now. Like in terms of like an episodic show I'm waiting for every week. Highly recommend that. That is one of those Danny McBride written, created shows. John Goodman plays like the head, like a Jerry Falwell, Pat Robertson type. You know, mega church pastor named Eli Gemstone. Danny McBride. Fucking Adam Devine. Bill Maher is slimy as fuck. Like as I've said many times on this show, I patterned my career after Bill Maher in a lot of ways. Fuck, I was all on the Bill Maher train when he got fired from ABC. Had to go to HBO. Like I was traveling on the road at that time. And you couldn't count on having any fucking channel in a hotel except HBO. All the hotels had HBO. So, and I was always on the road on the weekends. So on a Friday night, man, like I was looking forward to getting back to the hotel, have whatever fucking food I got for takeout, eat my food, smoke a fucking joint, probably at the time crush a pill, watch some Bill fucking Maher. Would have been circa 2003, 2004. That was my shit. Have I even hit this? Well, let's talk about some news. We'll do that shit. We'll catch up on what's going on. I'll be your guide. I'm Justin FREAKIN. I'm very high. One teen dead, 2 injured. A shooting near East High School in Des Moines. Oh, we have the local news hit here.
Victims were all juveniles, shot just steps from East High School. Good evening, I'm Janae Town. The area surrounding East High is a crime scene tonight. Police were called to East 13th and Buchanan, just across from East High School, before 3 today. The school immediately went into lockdown as police and medics swarmed the school. WHO 13's Justin Cernsey joins us live outside of East with the latest. Justin.
I'm sorry, I should have put up the content warning for this.
Yeah, we're here at 13th and East Buchanan, a terrible scene here. We learned obviously about an hour ago that one of the 3 victims has died, a 15-year-old teenager, male. The other 2 are females, 16 and 18-year-olds, still fighting for their lives at the hospital in critical condition. Just minutes ago, the chief of the Des Moines Police Department, Dana Wingert, and the
oh my God!
Des Moines Public Schools, Tom.
Don't make me laugh. This is a serious story, Dustin. Don't make me laugh like that.
They're concerned for the Des Moines East community, their condolences, and saying,
well, I mean, it's the east of Des Moines, so East High School, it just makes fucking sense.
No.
You might be on to something. No, it was probably named fucking like.
Texas will be working throughout the evening and overnight.
I know it's in Iowa, but it was probably named for some Confederate or so. It was the Robert E. Lee fucking high school, and they're just like, well, we'll have to rename it. We'll just call it the East High School. You know it was probably named for some asshole, and there was an uproar at some point in time to rename it, and they just renamed it East High School.
Just combing through, you can see at least 19 evidence markers still on the ground from this shooting. All 3 victims were found near or on the sidewalk of the high school's school grounds right here, and they're taken to the hospital.
Des Moines!
This hospital.
It's east of Des Moines.
School students who were on lockdown for about an hour, they talked about how they had a fire drill earlier in the day. They thought that this was another drill, an active shooter situation. They learned quickly it was not, and that 3 teenagers were shot.
I mean, at least it happened outside the school, and they weren't like.
We also talked to a witness who lives just a block to the north.
Capped it like apparently they had like it wasn't just a random shooting. I would assume it was a grudge on somebody.
A lot of gunshots. At first, it was just a couple, and I thought that's gunshots, but then it was so many after that.
In fucking Iowa.
Can't be gunshots. It's got to be fireworks. I said, let me go look, because my nephew goes to school over there. And by the time I got
make me a sandwich, woman.
it was something. So the police came really quick.
That's not misogyny. She's got on a shirt that says Subway.
So no cars come, and it was just a lot of police presence coming at that time.
And in the hours that have passed since the shooting, we have learned that the gun.
This is America. Of course they went and looked.
Moving vehicle. So please consider this.
That's what I would do. I'd go look. Where'd the gunshots come from? Let me go see.
The chief and the supervisor.
Sparkles, go get your gun.
Commending officers for getting here so quickly. A huge number of cruisers and police officers, detectives, a mobile command center, all showing up because of the proximity of the school and how important it was to get here as soon as possible. No arrests at this time have been made, but police say several people have been detained for questioning that they consider suspects at this time. So no ongoing threat to the community or the neighborhood, but a dark day here for not only just Des Moines Public Schools, but the city of Des Moines and Iowa.
They haven't even arrested anybody. Jesus. It does not have an update past what we heard in the news hit. Looks like school was letting out. Right around 3 o'clock when it happened. I was going to start off tonight talking to you about Iowa, but I wasn't going to talk to you about the school shooting. I did not know about that. Thank you, Warlord, for... I was going to talk to you about the EF4 tornado that ripped through there.
The devastation from Saturday's tornadoes. Tonight, we know the tornado that killed 6 people in Madison County was an EF4. That's the tornado you're looking at right there, with winds as strong as 170 miles an hour.
The big motherfucker
says it was up to 800 yards wide, and it was on the ground for nearly 70 miles.
It first touched down southwest of
800 yards wide. Jesus fucking Christ. And that's not even as big as they get? Fuck.
of Winterset went near Norwalk in Warren County, hit the area of Polk County between Runnels and Pleasant Hill, and finally just lifted outside of Newton. And today, Governor Reynolds added 9 more counties to her disaster proclamation. It now includes Adair, Decatur, Jasper, Lucas, Polk, Tama, Warren, and
that is the name of like every county around me.
Are eligible for state assistance for cleanup and recovery. Now, this is new video today from Sky 8 showing the damage at one of the worst hit areas in Madison County where those 6 people died. It's harder to tell what it is under this blanket of snow. Here you can see a hole in the ground, the basement of a home ripped away in the storm. And the storm tore off walls of other buildings. You'll notice you don't see people out cleaning right now. The snow makes it dangerous because they can't see if they're walking on something dangerous. And KCCI's Cynthia Fodor is live south of Winterset with the latest. Cynthia?
This is why I wanted to alert everybody to, like, you know, crazy weather is coming, right? This is the start of a front moving in.
Volunteers pulled this out from under the rubble. It's now
most of the United States has experienced a nice spring
today due to the 5 inches of snow, as you said, making what's already
spring snap of pleasant weather.
Some volunteers came anyway, armed with chainsaws and their helping hands. They are trying to ease the pain of families mourning the loss of their neighbors. We met up with...
This is the start of a polar vortex moving in, which is apparently just a thing that we're going to have pretty much annually now, it seems.
His son-in-law, Mike Bolger, and 2 grandchildren, ages 2 and 5 years old. The family had come from Kansas City to visit their grandmother this weekend. He tells me the family huddled together under a stairwell, and they were trapped under rubble for 5 hours.
And this is the front of the cold front moving in.
It was very devastating and very hard on all of us, just because so close, and for us it's just a unbelievable.
Warlord, has the UK gotten hit by the polar vortex yet?
Family's gone in an instant.
I think you guys are getting it as well.
Now, friends are trying to help Curie Bolger, who lost her husband and 2 young children. Her oldest son did survive, and she also lost her mother. They say she is now in the hospital and has undergone a number of surgeries, with more surgeries to come, and they've set up a GoFundMe.
Just the usual cold and bullshit.
And funeral expenses. That page is Help the Bolgers During a Time of Need, and this is certainly a time of need.
Yeah, let me show you the... map of the U.S. This is what's getting ready to happen over the next few days. I had to look up why this occurs. This is the beginning. That's like tomorrow. So, because the Arctic is heating up, the Arctic jet stream doesn't stay in its path as much. Like it's got more leeway of where it can come down, and here you're seeing a band of it come down, and it's going to hit the U.S. It hit us last year, and it froze Texas. That's when Ted Cruz went to Cancun. This is just about this time last year. I remember bitching about it being March, and we got like fucking below freezing temperatures. I don't think it's supposed to get below freezing for me this time. I think it's supposed to hit 34. God damn, I don't like that. I've enjoyed the last couple of days having the doors open, the windows open. It's been so nice. It was not nice today. It's been yucky today. Not warm. I don't like it, but prepare for the weather. But I think it is hitting the UK as well. You can see it. I'm sorry I picked a US centric map. You can see it plopping down over there. I think you guys across the pond are gonna get it too. My apologies. Peace talks went on today between Russia and Ukraine, and ain't shit happening. Third round of Ukraine peace talks end with no major breakthroughs. Ukraine on Monday criticized the Kremlin's announcement of new humanitarian corridors to transport civilians to Russia and Belarus as an immoral stunt ahead of a third round of peace talks. The talks near the Belarusian border concluded after about 4 hours with no major breakthroughs, but positive developments on improving the logistics of humanitarian corridors. Negotiations on a potential ceasefire and broader political solution will continue. A senior U.S. defense official said Russia has now deployed nearly 100% of the combat power. Now that is a stark change from what Wednesday of last week, when the Texas dude that was stationed with the Russians told us they'd only deployed about 10% of their firepower. They're gonna kick some ass. I try to keep you guys abreast of the major news, and I think having another winter fucking cold snap this week is major fucking news. And I don't like it. I wanted to bitch about it. Oh, fuck. They're talking about this whole Russia situation having an effect on our food supply. Russian invasion threatens global food supply. Two countries combined, Ukraine and Russia combined for nearly 1/3 of global wheat and barley exports, according to the AP. Ukraine is a major exporter of corn. Lebanon, Egypt, and Syria are among the countries most dependent on affordable wheat. Any price hikes will be catastrophic not only for me, but for the majority of the people, Ahmed Salah, an Egyptian father of 7, told the AP. Supplies were already tight because of droughts hitting the wheat belts of North America, the NPR notes. And livestock farmers are heavily reliant on Ukraine for corn and other grain additives for animal feed. Yes, I said the NPR. I have a bad habit of saying like the Facebook, the Netflix, the PlayStation. So I've had such a hard time breaking myself of saying the Ukraine. Apparently that's a slur. And I just do it because, like, it's fucking... I do shit like that. It's a weird quirk of mine. I'm doing my best to break myself up. Not just food prices that are on everyone's mind. Apparently the gas prices. Especially if you've been to, like, local news comment sections. Yeah, we're heading on over to the Rumble. We're going to see... The Charlie Kirk Show posted this clip from Fox News, because apparently, like, he just clips Fox News' content and gets views off of it. I guess it's a thing you can do on Rumble. Maybe I should start doing that shit.
Like you guys are blaming Putin for the increase in gas prices recently, but weren't gas prices going up anyway because of post-pandemic supply chain issues?
Well, I think there's no question that
I'm not high enough
outside analysts have
for this shit.
The increase in the anticipated continued increase, which is, I think, what some of your colleagues were asking about, that is a direct result of the invasion of Ukraine, and also there was an anticipation of that was factored in as gas prices have gone up.
So you say that you're going to do everything that you can to reduce the.
My bowl's not packed enough for me to get high enough for this shit.
We're asking other countries to think about maybe pumping more oil. Why not just do it here?
Well, to be very clear, federal policies are not limiting the supplies of oil and gas. Let me finish.
Like, they've got limited ways that they can affect the gas supply. Leasing more like offshore sites, which are incredibly expensive. Up in Alaska, it's incredibly expensive to extract oil there. Like, I don't know what Doozy is talking about. So.
Let me finish.
An executive order his
Peter,
first week that halted new oil and gas.
Let me give you the facts here, and I know that can be inconvenient, but I think they're important in this moment. To the contrary, we have been clear that in the short term, supply must keep up with the demand. We are, and here and around the world, will we make the shift to a secure, clean energy future. We are one of the largest producers with a strong domestic oil and gas industry. We have actually.
Thanks, Obama.
Oil. It is at record numbers, and we will continue to produce more oil. There are 9,000 approved drilling permits that are not being used. So the suggestion that we are not allowing companies to drill is inaccurate. The suggestion that that is what is hindering or preventing gas prices to come down is inaccurate.
Would President Biden rescind his executive order that halts new oil and natural gas?
No, it's because you have a crush on Jen Psaki.
90% of them happen on private lands, as I'm sure you know, and there are 9.
Would you? Jen Psaki is the lead character in the video game I'm playing right now, Ghost of Tsushima. I've been trying to say it like the fucking locals say it on the game, and I was like, Shashaba. Sparkles is like, what? Did you have a stroke? Anyway.
9,000 unused approved drilling permits. So I would suggest you ask the oil companies why they're not using those if there's a desire to drill more.
Would President Biden ever undo his executive order that stopped the construction of the Keystone XL pipeline?
Are you suggesting that would solve the gas prices issue?
Well, do you think that that would maybe affect prices faster than getting the whole country off of fossil fuels?
I actually don't think it would. The Keystone.
Nope.
Pipeline. Also, the oil is continuing to flow in just through other means. So
dial it back now, RB. Dial it back.
Supply imbalance.
So gas prices are approaching an all-time high per gallon. How high would they have to get before President Biden would say, I'm going to set aside my ambitious climate goals and just increase domestic...
Gas price has been saying I'm not high enough for this shit.
And we can address the fossil fuel future later.
Well, again, Peter, the U.S. produced more oil this past year than in President Trump's first year. Next year, according to the Department of Energy, we will produce more oil than
gas prices
Those are the
said I'm not high enough for this shit.
And again, right now there are 9,000 unused approved permits to drill onshore. So I think you're misidentifying what the actual issue is. But if we're looking to the future and what we can do to prevent this from being a challenge in future crises, the best thing we can do is reduce our...
Something smells weird in here. Did one of you guys fart?
Oil. Because that will help us have a reliable source of energy so that we're not worried about gas prices going up because of the whims of a foreign dictator.
Right, and you guys think that asking Saudi...
What am I talking about? I got cats. It's probably them.
...is reducing our dependence on foreign oil?
That's actually, I just outlined each of those specific scenarios and the range of discussions that we're having with each of those countries. I don't think anybody is advocating for Iran to continue acquiring a nuclear weapon, perhaps except for the former president.
Beverly Hills, California. They went and found the fucking. That has to be like the highest price in the country.
I'm going to report that GasBuddy.com, aside from the national average reporting that we get every day, is reporting that as she was speaking, in fact, the national average is now at a record high. I mean, that is a reality for American families in this country. And John, it does not appear that there is an answer like producing more oil.
Nationalize the oil companies. Nationalize the oil companies. I love it. Several of them have said, highest gas prices since 2008. I was like, oh yeah, that was the last time a Republican crashed the economy. Gas prices surged above $4 a gallon, near a national record. This was at 2 p.m. Eastern today on NPR. According to Fox News, they actually went above the national record. Oil prices surged to a 14-year high, while gasoline prices jumped past $4 a gallon to near a national record as the U.S. and its allies discussed potential restrictions on the purchase of oil from Russia after the country invaded Ukraine. Russian oil has so far been spared Western sanctions, at least directly, in an effort to minimize economic fallout in the U.S. and Europe. But the prospect of that changing briefly sent the price of Brent crude oil, the global benchmark, above $130 per barrel, its highest since 2008. Brent was trading at around $124 a barrel in the late morning trade. Spike in energy prices comes as consumers in the U.S. are facing the highest inflation in decades. Gasoline prices had already been rising sharply before Russia's invasion of Ukraine, as demand rebounded from a slump early in the pandemic and supplies were slow to catch up. But price increases have accelerated since Russia invaded Ukraine late last month. Gasoline prices have jumped by 45 cents a gallon in the last week to a national average of $4.06, according to AAA. That's within a nickel of the all-time high in 2008. Adjusted for inflation, the 2008 record would be the equivalent of $5.37 today. Diesel fuel prices jumped even more rapidly to a national average of $4.61 per gallon. Got a little Associated Press video here of some everyday average Joes reacting to gas prices, so this should be fun. I love shit like this. At a price of $4.19 a gallon here in Ridgefield, New Jersey. Go ahead, just go, do you realize how much it would help your business if you just went ahead and put it at $4.20? You're $4.19, go ahead and put it at $4.20. You will make so many people laugh, so many people will stop just because you have your gas price set at $4.20. I assure you, hire me for your marketing. I'm on top of things here.
Well, 2008, I was 8 years old. I didn't have a car. I wasn't worried about gas, but now I got a car, and $4 or $5 for gas is outrageous. Just can't pay it.
What accent does he have? Where is this guy from? At first I'm like, is it British? And he's not British. I don't know what this is. He got some pretty eyes. You don't look at me that way, sir. Don't look at me that way, sir. It might as well be $4.20. You're right, Spider. It is at 9/10 of a cent tacked on there.
Rather stay on my bike.
It's a Baltimore accent.
It's definitely affecting everyone. Definitely me personally. I mean, I drive a 4-cylinder. I'm still paying $80. I drive a couple hundred miles. I own a pool table installation company. Probably drive a couple thousand miles a month, and I mean, I'm paying just it's not worth it. Triple.
This motherfucker installs pool tables,
leading to just skyrocketing prices. We're seeing price increases day to day that we used to see week to week, anywhere from 6 to 11 cents per gallon.
I like this guy.
And in fact, we're up today 6 cents per gallon for the national average to 4.06 per gallon. And I feel safe to say that we are going to set a new record as far as the national average is concerned sometime this week.
You see that guy's mustache and those glasses? He's cool as shit. I'm totally down with that guy. Apparently the stock market had kind of a bad day today. Keeps getting worse for stocks. The Dow sinks and enters what's called a correction. Now remember, we've been keeping an eye on, like, Jerome Powell testified last week in front of both the Senate and the House. You're expecting rate hikes in the coming weeks. So I guess the market is reacting to this. Stocks sank on Monday with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I wasn't going to read as much of the last article as I did. I just felt like I was on a roll. I hadn't fucked up a word or anything. I was rolling. Like, I just kept going because I was enjoying it. I was having a good time. I always volunteered to read. You know, like when you're like back in like 2nd, 3rd grade and shit, and you read passages to the class and stuff. I didn't care to be the first one. Let me go. You had to give a speech in front of the class. I'll be the first one. When I do like open mics and I go and sign up, I will always take the first spot. Because like, for some reason, people don't want to go on first. They don't want to be first. They want to be 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I'm like, okay, let me go on first. Follow my energy, bitch. Sorry. The Dow now joins the S&P 500 in what's called correction territory, or a drop of more than 10% from recent highs. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 lost nearly 3% on Monday, post its worst daily loss since October 2020. NASDAQ fell more than 3%. It has now entered what is known as a bear market. We're down more than 20% from its record high in November. Okay, I didn't realize that it was a bear market. B-E-A-R is in the animal. I always thought like it was a bear market, like nobody buying anything, and our cupboards are bare over here. So reading that for the first time, maybe I knew it. Who knows? It's one of those things where, like, I told Sparkles I'd never had Bojangles before. He's like, motherfucker, you've had Bojangles with me. NASDAQ fell more than 3%. Bear and bull, apparently. I was like, our cupboards are better over here. We got hard times, Daddy. We're having hard times. We got bare cupboards. It's a bear market. B-A-R-E. Oh, I might have known that. Who knows? I took economics classes or marketing class or some shit. I don't know. There was some of that bullshit was required to get my degree. Hated those classes. The declines extend what has been a miserable year for Wall Street, with all three indexes falling in each of the previous 2 months. It is indexes, right? Or indexes? Indexes. Bear shit. I don't know nothing about your fancy financial do-gadgets and whoop-de-doo on your Wall Street hoodly winks. The bear's hibernating. That makes sense. Okay. Because I'm like, why a bear? A bear's not a friendly creature. A bear will beat the shit out of you, but that makes sense. He goes and he hibernates. He's a roaring bear that can come back. I see. That's a good analogy. You stock market fucking stupid finance people. It's a good analogy. Investors were spooked after the U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken told CNN on Sunday that the U.S. and European allies were in discussions to potentially ban oil imports from Russia after the country's invasion of Ukraine. U.S. and Europe have so far avoided directly sanctioning Russia's energy exports. Adopting such a move would mark a major escalation from the current round of comprehensive financial and economic sanctions. News Wow! I nailed the last one. Can't even get through this one. And they're not even hard words or anything. Not like they're throwing that financial jargon they talk on the CNBC at me. Higher energy prices threaten to worsen inflation in the U.S., which is already at its highest level in 40 years. The impact would be worse for Europe. Take that, warlord, which imports a substantial part of its energy needs from Russia. That might not apply to you, though. That's more the Germany and shit. All right, last night, former Attorney General Bill Maher was on. I did it on purpose, I swear. Bill Barr was on NBC News with Lester Holt talking about election
NBC
claims.
News exclusive. The man who stood at the center of some of the storms that engulfed the Trump presidency is breaking his silence tonight. Former Attorney General William Barr, in his new memoir, One Damn Thing After Another, opens up about his relationship with the former president. And ahead of the book's release, he opened up to me.
Their closed captioning is doing some kind of funky shit up here. I apologize for that. It's fucking with me. Let's listen to what old Willie Barr had to say.
People really started going after me when they saw that I was not going to take the rubbish that was the Russiagate pseudo-scandal. I was going to deal with it.
Defiant in his convictions, Bill Barr gives no ground to his critics.
The narrative, and we live in the age of narrative, not facts. The narrative was I was a toady to Trump, and I would do Trump's bidding, and the media constantly went out with that story.
Were you?
Well,
yes.
No, because I tried to take every issue that came to me and decided what I thought was the right thing, and I didn't really care what people thought about me.
The criticism that framed Barr's time in the Trump administration.
He almost got tore up there. I didn't care what anybody thought about me.
He wrote an unsolicited memo to the Department of Justice outlining why the president should not be investigated in the Mueller probe.
Oh yeah, it's sickening, isn't it, Ida?
As an audition for the job of Attorney General.
Helping to rehabilitate this motherfucker.
Well, first, I wasn't interested in being Attorney General, and second, if I wanted to be Attorney General, there were much more direct ways of auditioning for it.
Some thought the memo was a signal to the president that Barr was ready to make the Russia investigation go away. Your mind sounds like it was clearly made up before we even got to this point on the Russia investigation, that it was a phony investigation.
No, it wasn't made up. I was, as I say in my book, I was suspicious of it.
Do not buy this motherfucker's book.
Barr
Not that I think any of you would.
Fired Attorney General Jeff.
Not saying any of you guys wouldn't read it. You guys might. You might pirate it and read it. I'd highly encourage that. If you want to know what the motherfucker has to say, maybe you have a morbid curiosity, go for it.
This is
just pirate it. Pirate it.
Mueller has submitted his report to the Attorney General. Period.
Barr says he couldn't legally release the full report at first. Classified and grand jury information needed to be redacted. Instead, he wrote a 4-page letter to Congress about Mueller's conclusions.
And the conclusions were there was no collusion and that he didn't make a decision on...
He's even doing Trump-like hand gestures.
...all the facts in the report. And I say that he does not exonerate Trump.
But critics say Barr essentially did exonerate the president. He said Mueller's evidence did not prove Trump obstructed justice. It became
that every fucking right-winger cites what like Barr said about him.
That has been proven. There was no obstruction.
Among the details that Barr left out, Mueller's description of multiple acts by the president that were capable of
misrepresenting it again
over law enforcement investigations. This 4-page letter, this summary, was immediately met with wide criticism that it didn't really accurately reflect what Mueller was saying.
Well, that's not true. What it was a tantrum by the people who were hoping that Mueller would be able to bring down Trump.
Wait a minute. Mueller himself wrote you a letter complaining. He said the summary didn't capture the substance of his report and that there was now public confusion.
No, he didn't say the substance of his report.
Actually,
that's literally what he said.
Barr's summary did not fully capture the context, nature, and substance of this office's work and conclusions. In his book, Barr frequently defends Trump. But there were flashpoints, like that so-called perfect phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, now a wartime
Wait a minute, is his name Voldemort?
To investigate Joe Biden.
This whole maneuver of trying to get the Ukraine...
Because I've been saying it wrong all this time.
Biden. That was a harebrained scheme. It was ridiculous.
In that call, Trump offered up his attorney general to help facilitate the scheme. Barr says he had nothing to do with it. And the president lumped you in with Rudy Giuliani as being the points of contact to make this happen.
I was
Volodymyr. That's what I thought it was. Fucking Lester Holt said like Voldemort.
Fraud that Trump had
that was a character from Harry Potter.
Blow up at the White House.
And I told
or Lord of the Rings, one or the other. I don't know. One of those dragon thingies.
And
what? Let's go back. I missed something.
And
we had to censor the former attorney general. Let's hear him out.
Nothing to do with it. And the president lumped you in with Rudy Giuliani as being the points of contact to make this happen.
I was livid.
4 weeks after the election, Barr's relationship with the president came to a head when he told a reporter there was no widespread election fraud, that Trump had simply lost. It led to a blow-up at the White House.
And I told him that all this stuff was bullshit and about election fraud.
Bullshit.
And, it was wrong to be shoveling it out the way his team was.
You're trying to set him straight.
Yes. And he listened. He was obviously getting very angry about this. I said, okay, well, look, I understand.
Trump angry? No way.
And I'm perfectly happy to tender my resignation. And then, boom, he slapped the desk and he said, accepted, go home, you're done.
In a 3-page letter to NBC News, President Trump called Barr's book fake and repeatedly insulted his former AG as a coward, a big disappointment, and lazy. Trump also said that he was the one who demanded Barr's resignation. You can watch more of our conversation tomorrow on Today and on a special...
Is that the same statement from Trump that I have over here from Axios? I wish there was video. Trump trashes Barr in rant to Lester Holt. It's too much. There's no way I'm going to read all this. I'm not going to. There's too much Trump. Bill Barr cares more about being accepted by the corrupt Washington media and elite than serving the American people. He was slow, lethargic, and I realized early on that he had never had what it takes to make a great attorney general. First of all, like, it says, "Dear Mr. Holt," has Mr. Holt crossed out, and someone wrote Lester. Someone wrote Lester. When the radical left Democrats threatened to hold him in contempt and, even worse, to impeach him, he became virtually worthless to law and order and election integrity. In capital letters, Law and Order is in the TV show. He was worthless to Law and Order, the TV show. They broke him just like a trainer breaks a horse. Despite massive amounts of evidence, with far more produced after his leaving, he refused to go after the fraud and irregularities that had so openly taken place in the 2020 presidential election. It was so sad to watch. When he stated that there was no fraud in the election, it was a virtual joke to anyone that knew what had actually gone on, in particular within the swing states, and closed as yesterday's Wisconsin report, talking of widespread corruption. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, and many other states are even now studying the disgraceful events that took place. In fact, William McSwain, the United States Attorney for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, stated that Barr did not allow him to look into the many corrupt things that happened in Philadelphia. Bill Barr was a big disappointment to me as Attorney General. He was afraid to act and usually didn't. Even the Mueller investigation, which came out with a finding of no collusion, should have gone much faster, especially after knowing all the information that was available and already at their disposal. As everyone now knows, my campaign was spied on, and Bill Barr did nothing about it. Comey, McCabe, and the two lovers, and everyone all the way up and down knew what was happening. But Barr didn't want to upset the apple cart. This dude was made for social media. This dude, like... I'm sure he's upset he can't be on Twitter and Facebook causing drama and trolling people. You guys think he has a fake account? I mean, he created his own social media, but it ain't going well. On your question regarding the Department of Justice and the President of the United States, as President of the United States, I am the Chief Executive who is responsible for the department heads, which includes the Attorney General. When I saw that the Department of Justice was not doing their job, I have every legal right to ask them to do so in accordance with the law and the Constitution. That has nothing to do with my personal legal interests. Antifa, BLM, and so many others have gotten away with literally murder when others have... Okay, so you get what the letter is. You get what the letter. Trump said he was attaching a report about supposed election corruption as if Lester Holt would be super interested in it. He said Barr is now groveling to the media, hoping to gain acceptance that he doesn't deserve. Barr told Holt in an interview that Trump became very angry. I would imagine that if the book is anything like him, it will be long, slow, and very boring. Trump wrote in his letter to Holt. That's a pretty good insult. I'll give him that. That was the best thing. Speaking of insults, Mike Pence, a living insult. Horrible transition. I'm not doing good on my segues. Mike Pence rams up his political moves, apparently. Former Vice President Mike Pence's advocacy group plans to spend $10 million on TV ads targeting vulnerable House Democrats on energy policy and Ukraine. Pence contrasted himself against Trump last week, slamming the GOP's apologist for Putin. Now he's using the Russian invasion to trash Democrats. Apologist for Putin. Pence slams apologist for Putin. It's a new tongue twister. Try saying that one 5 times fast. Pence slams apologist for Putin. Pence slams apologist for Putin. A new ad buy from his group, Advancing American Freedom, shows Pence is working to shore up a political brand independent of the former president. Pence has been raising his profile delicately, but more directly drawing contrasts with Trump. Now he's spending serious coin. $10 million ad buy is the most expensive move by a 2024 GOP contender not named Donald Trump. The ads began airing on Monday. They're targeting 16 House Democrats. There was a lot. Okay, so there was a shit ton more political advertising in the ether today. I noticed it. There was a change today specifically. I saw way more ads, especially for state races and congressional races. Can we see these ads? What was Advancing American Freedom? Can we find this ad? Let's watch it. These new ad, horrific decisions. Let's check it out. Here we go. Finally able to find it.
Before Russian bombs began to rain on Ukraine, before hundreds of innocent Ukrainians lost their lives, a horrific decision had already been made. Joe Biden caved to the radical environmentalist and stopped America's Keystone Pipeline and dramatically increased Americans' dependence on Russian oil.
Good Lord!
Endangering America's security and helping Russia fund their invasion. Call Congresswoman Axne and tell her to support America's security instead of Russia's terror.
So there you go. That's the ad we were just reading about by Mike Pence's advocacy group. Jesus Christ. Speaking of pieces of shit, content warning on this one. Not fully funding renewable energy made the U.S. dependent on foreign oil. It's something we could have done forever ago. They don't care. The Supreme Court has declined to hear the Cosby case. The overturned conviction stands. The Supreme Court is refusing to weigh in on the Pennsylvania ruling that set him free. Oh, did I mention who? This is Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby is breathing a sigh of relief. The U.S. Supreme Court is refusing to weigh in on the Pennsylvania ruling that set him free. SCOTUS voted 4-3 on Monday to leave in place the Pennsylvania Supreme Court's decision from last summer, which nullified Cosby's 2018 conviction for aggravated indecent assault of Andrea Constant. Cosby was immediately released from the Pennsylvania prison where he'd been serving a 3 to 10 year sentence. Fuck you, Bill Cosby. Dan Bongino warned us. I don't know what about. I remember earlier in the show I was plugging this. Facebook been acting a little funky for me here lately. I do not know what his announcement is. I'm betting it's an ad for something. This is Dan Bongino posted earlier today. Mark today's date and remember that he warned you that this is coming. So I cannot fucking wait to hear what Dan Bongino says is coming. I'm sure this is gonna be a dandy.
Down from that one bit. Sadly, I will be proved.
I'm not high enough for this shit,
show, folks. Remember the show. Mark the date. The bad news is this: the Russians are going to figure out eventually how to get around these economic sanctions. Ladies and gentlemen, they're doing it right now. Matter of fact, I saw these two tweets on a feed that we run right below, on top of one another and below one another. One was from a global media outlet. One was from Tim Pool.
They're going to figure it out. They're doing it right now. Tim Pool says
MasterCard banning operations in Russia. And then right on top of that, not connected to Tim Pool at all. This is just a screenshot. It says breaking, Russian state-owned bank Sberbank is going to replace Visa and MasterCard with a new Mir card system in partnership with China's UnionPay. Folks, the bad news about this is twofold, actually. As I said this weekend on my Fox show, which drew massive spitback from the Russian operative left, I don't believe that this new financial sanctions operation is going to be limited to Russia. I don't. The left is learning from this. It's only a matter of time before MasterCard and Visa are pressured to start to ban Trump supporters.
You think MasterCard and Visa are the left? Are you... I should not ask that question. Dan Bongino is definitely stupid.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools? And the Trump operation as well. Listen, Joe, mark it, please. Monday, March 7th, 9/12.
Flag it.
Just mark it. We'll see who's right and who's wrong. The left is like, Africa's birthday. They're not going to start. Really? Trump banned from Twitter, banned from Facebook. Stripe took him down. Was that a conspiracy theory too? So we'll see. So
he incited an insurrection.
First, the left is already taking lessons on how to use this model of attacking foreign governments like Russia with these financial sanctions. They're already getting ready for that model here. I'm not backing down from that one bit. Sadly, I will be proven right. Remember the show.
Wait a minute. You can't use the Discover card on a porn site? No way. I just learned something new tonight. You can't use Discover card on a porn site. Really? Way. I have had everything but a Discover card. I have never had a Discover card. Currently, I have a Visa, I have a MasterCard. Once upon a time, I had an Amex. Amexes aren't good. Those what good is an Amex? You need to be rich to fucking exercise an Amex. What in the fuck does a Discover card even do? What do I discover with it? Never had a credit card. Probably for the best. Probably for the best. I have not used my credit cards wisely in my life. Okay, like imagine a fork in his hand. Hold on here, hold on. Go on, Bongino.
Folks, remember the show, mark the date. The second part is it's not going to work over time. I'm not suggesting that it's not having a significant financial impact now, but the Russians and the Chinese...
I'm going to put like a bowl of cream of wheat
The threat
With like a fork in his hand or a spoon in his hand. He's going to be shoveling some cream of wheat into his mouth.
Right now is from within as well. We have a growing, festering portion of our far left politics in the
I'll buy shit on OnlyFans.
I'm telling you for
I've done the FetLife membership many times.
Painted us into this corner right now with Russia. Please, for a moment, lefties, go sit down with your dunce caps in the corner. You're the Soviet apologists. You wanted to sequester military spending. You're the anti-nuclear brigade. You told the Europeans at the behest of Putin propaganda to stop fracking. You're the ones who don't want to produce domestic energy. You were the ones who were the PP tape hoaxers. Vladimir Putin's laughing at us. Your opinion is candidly irrelevant. We are in this spot now with Russia precisely because of idiots like you who empowered Russia at
like me. Expense. Like I empowered Russia.
Conservatives as being the problem and Putin puppets or whatever nonsense you throw out there. Hard pass.
Did he okay, what was he proclaiming? He said mark it down, I'm going to be proven correct about this. What was his proclamation? Because you could use it to get adult toys. Good on you, Dustin. Live your values. Michael Knowles has some kind of issue with cuddling. I don't even know. I don't watch this shit before I watch it with you guys. Hold on. Libs say that straight men cuddle with and kiss other men. What kind of a headline is that? Libs say that straight men cuddle with and kiss other men. I'm not even sure what the claim is in that. Tell us about it, Michael Knowles.
So I learned from Metro magazine. This article's a little old, but it's making the rounds again, and I had to bring it up. I couldn't miss it.
You live
Metro
in sexual
magazine
anarchy?
Informed me of something that was pretty surprising. Straight men in
That sounds like some military shit. That sounds like something the Marines do when they're like, we're not actually gay, but we suck each other's dicks, and sometimes I'll let him fuck me. It's what? That's what that sounds like. What is Metro? Is this some kind of a fucking? Is Metro a satire fucking website? Okay, go on.
Romances, kiss, cuddle, and stand around naked together. Didn't know that. A bromance has been defined as an emotionally intense bond between straight men. In the conclusion of this study, it's very, very scientific, the authors wrote, they spoke.
I mean, I've cuddled and kissed men, but I'm not a straight man. Also not gay, Raymond. What's up with that? Understand the nuances.
Spoke about their desire to cuddle and hug with their bromantic friends. Some agreed that this was the case when asked, whereas others offered it unsolicited as part of their definition of bromance. In all, 29 of the 30 men who took part in this study said they had cuddled with their bromantic partner. This latest work backs a 2012 study that found 89% of 145 surveyed undergraduate heterosexual men had kissed their bros. The bros, straight men. Most straight men, the vast majority of straight men.
Well, I get he's like the culture reporter or some shit, isn't he?
Now, look, I'm no scientist. Okay, I don't have an advanced degree in statistics or sociology or whatever. I don't think straight men do this. Maybe, look, this is a British paper, and the Brits have always been a little bit light in the loafers that way, so maybe that's possible.
Oh, Europeans, they're a lot different. They're way different than us. Yeah, that sounds like a way more European thing. Yeah, that sounds like a far more European thing than an American thing. So you kind of left that out, Michael Knowles. But who cares? Exactly, Toes. Like, you wanna hold each other? Do it. Rub your dicks together. That feels really good. You look fucking very nice, very nice.
I just don't think it's the case. I think actually ontology tells us that's not the case. I think the nature of being a straight man tells you that's not the case. Because by definition, straight men would not hang around and kiss and cuddle with their friends. This is something...
I don't know. There's women that fucking get together with their girlfriends and they just like kiss.
And it's coming out in paperback again. And I really want to jump up the charts so that I can stick it in the eye of the New York Times. Anyway, that's a digression. I talked about how the left gains...
Jesus was a pimp.
Defining words. Well, you see it here. Straight men used to be men. The definition of a straight man...
I personally like The Last Temptation of Christ with William Dafoe as when he was hosting SNL a few weeks ago. That reminded me, like they made a joke about him being in Last Temptation of Christ. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I love that fucking movie. I need to watch that again. I don't know. I started thinking about William Dafoe in Last Temptation of Christ. And he's hanging out with her because, like, he goes to see his whore friend, and like she's like getting fucked all day long. And he's like standing outside of her little hut. It's a good movie. I like William Dafoe an awful lot. I do not like Michael Knowles. I do not like you, Michael Knowles. Are we done with what he has to say? He was like plugging shit, wasn't he?
And was men who don't cuddle and kiss their male friends.
Oh,
and
no.
Now the left is redefining straight man to man who kisses and cuddles with his male friends. So now there are no straight men. This is erasure. This is the way they take control of society on the left. They just redefine everything. And
are you a straight man, sir?
I think this is a trap that the left...
Wait. He's saying like now there is no classification of straight men. So Michael Knowles admits he is a straight male. He cuddles and kisses because that's what he's saying about this story, right? He agrees with the premise that straight men cuddle and kiss other men. Otherwise, it wouldn't be erasure, right? They're fucking reaching. This is such a reach. He could give a reach around like around a Buick.
The right actually fell into this with political correctness. They said, oh, who cares? Political correctness isn't a big deal. It's kind of a silly distraction from more important things like cutting taxes and getting new free trade deals. Oh, forget that they're redefining women and redefining men and redefining our whole country and redefining the founding as evil. And, forget about that for a second. Let's just focus on cutting taxes and manufacturing more stuff in China. And that'll help GDP, and that's all that matters. No, this is the issue. Frankly, the war in Ukraine is a distraction.
I have a whole segment of my my friends that like they want to like normalize platonic cuddling apparently. That is a move that they're like, oh, they just want to be friends and they want to cuddle. I apologize. I'm just like, you touch it and it gets hard. So like you fucking like I'm gonna be laying next to you. You put your ass up against me and like I'm gonna get a boner. It's just is what happens. Not my fault. And then you put that up on like, I've got some badass friends. I probably want to fuck them. Really off topic here. Really. All they have is culture wars. That's all they fucking do. Oh, goddamn. Ricky Schroeder Former child star has a public meltdown over a museum mask rule. Former child star Ricky Schroeder last seen, and like I don't even really know who fuck Ricky Schroeder is. Media Winch, when we were doing way back, like at the start of the Troll Patrol, or just a few months in, Kyle Rittenhouse was released from jail on bond. And I promoted to everyone that I had an exclusive interview with Kyle Rittenhouse. Tune in, blah, 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 tonight on the Troll Patrol. And I'd had Media Winch like record, like I had a cutout of Rittenhouse with a cartoon mouth on him. And I'd had Media Winch do like a whole little interview thing with me. And she brought up Ricky Schroeder, and I don't know who the fuck. I can't riff off of Ricky Schroeder because I don't know who the fuck Ricky Schroeder is. But apparently, Ricky Schroeder flipped out on security guards who asked him to wear a mask before entering the Dwight D. Eisenhower Presidential Library Museum in Abilene, Kansas. And he called them Nazis. Well. This comes to us via Patriot Takes. While traveling with the Freedom Convoy, maskless Ricky Schroeder was denied entry into the Dwight D. Eisenhower Museum.
Sir, I don't make the rules, sir. I just have to enforce. So we're at the Eisenhower Museum. Yes, you are. And I can't visit. My name's Ricky Schroeder. I drove over here to visit.
Who cares?
You can't come in. I can't come into this museum without a mask.
Oh, I got a Karen for you, Dip. I got a Karen for you. Stick around.
Archives and Record Administration's rules. It's the federal government's rules. Yes. Evil federal government. Right? That's your opinion. That is my opinion. Okay. God's laws are higher than the federal government's.
God's law.
Yes, we are. Not God's laws. Correct, sir. I don't know if it's God's law or man's law. All I know it's our. That's right. You don't know God.
Well, I know God.
God bless.
He smoked me out a few times.
The man who defeated the Nazis, and you've become one.
Oh, I guess as a general, yeah. I was like, Eisenhower wasn't president then. Oh, as a general. Yeah, that's right. That's right. He actually fought over there.
The federal government said I can't go into the Dwight D. Eisenhower Museum. That's his boyhood home.
Well, just fucking...
The man who defeated the Nazis.
Just put a fucking mask on.
And look what's become of our country.
Yeah, Dip. That's why I got a buddy that really wants me to like go to TikTok, and I'm like, I don't want to make content in that fucking
America. God bless this movement.
9:16 aspect ratio.
In Jesus' name, we need to fight for freedom again. Amen.
Fucking brother. Fight for freedom again. Freedom to be able to go into a Walmart and talk about your pussy. I think it's a Walmart. I don't know. Yeah, it's a Walmart.
Black Lives Matter. Have fun paying for all this. Have fun paying for all this. Black Lives Matter. My pussy matters. Have a great time, ma'am. Black Lives Matter. My pussy matters. You make no sense. What is wrong with you? Her people don't matter, but her fucking pussy matters. Black lives don't matter. Her fucking pussy matters. My pussy matters.
I am really sorry that woman was told that her pussy doesn't matter. I am heartbroken that she believes all pussies matter. At least to me, but I live in sexual anarchy.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Oh, speaking of pussies, perfect fucking segue, bitches. Oh my God. There we go. Cats are liquid. Oh, Dib hit me with the no cursing, which is easy to do because I'm getting ready to raid somebody. I'm sorry, Dip. I got a hot date coming over. I'm ducking out a little early. Ferrets are wild. I fucking love ferrets. I love this cat. This cat is cute as fuck. I bet this cat loves to cuddle. You can probably do anything you want with this cat. Okay. I don't know who this is. Reading them. Oh, look at that little motherfucker. So sweet. They just like fitting themselves in things. It's this weird thing cats do. I don't know what the deal is. Look at it. Look at that chonky ass. Oh my God. It sits. I like the other cat looking at him. That's so cute. Alright, if you're watching on Twitch, we're heading over to Smite Night. Look like a cool motherfucker. Check him out. Awesome. Thank you, Dip. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. See you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol live.